Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to the podcast tonight. Tonight, we're going to review a video that I had came across today. Um, I seen the one video today of this Fox News host. This Fox News host, he invited a couple of, I call them modern day women because it is what it is because of their behavior on this show. But he invited these modern day women onto the show to speak about the controversy with Austin. Now, if y'all been following my podcast, I actually did a show talking about Austin and also giving y'all my perspective about Austin and also about the Passport Bro movement as well too. You know what I'm saying? So um this Fox News host, he decided to do a pretty much a segment talking about the Passport Bros, talk about Austin and his situation that he was going through. So we're going to review this video, and I'm gonna give you my perspective about it, and that is it. Appreciate everyone tuning in to this podcast. Go ahead and hit that like button as well too. If you ain't subscribed to the channel, by all means subscribe to the channel. I promise you, I don't bite, even though I'll be speaking on some things that could be controversial, but that is how I am. So without further ado, let's go and jump into this video. All right, let's go.
On this so-called group.
Let me tell you, they weren't even on my radar. You brought it up to me, and then I saw it, and I was just like, oh, that's cute. You know, guys go and get their passports. My son just got his passport last week. He's 9, so that's cool. Passport brothers, that's what's up. Then I started doing the research, and I'm like, wait a minute. Because I grew up, with 2-parent household. My parents still happily married. I grew up in love. Some people grew up in survival mode, and maybe they just in a whole nother dimension of trying to find love or trying to find easy situations and everything. But at the same time, it was like, why do you have to put down the thing that you don't like in front of everybody just to get the thing that you do want? I don't care.
That being black women in America, putting them down for women who may be of color in another country.
Right, that want to be a little more
also submissive
exactly
to them.
Exactly.
But also paid prostitution in many cases.
All right, so let's dive into this. Okay, first of all, just like I say, I got to be real. Got to be real about this. Um, the host name is Isaac. All right, and so got to be real about brother Isaac. This dude had chose the most. This dude chose the most ghettoest modern day women to be up here on the show and talk about this situation. I ain't lying. I ain't lying. But I know that the reason why he did this is because at the end of the day, like all content creators, we do things for clicking views and notoriety. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. But this young lady here, she's saying that through her personal experiences, right? She came out of a two parent household, and pretty much she believed that her father and mother didn't have these type of experiences that the current passport bros have right now. You know what I'm saying? As far as finding women. Now, there is some validity in what she's saying, but at the same time, her being a modern day woman, at the same time, I got to call cap on them too. But we're going to continue with this, all right?
And that's what they covering up. And you can tell that by the way that, what's his name, Austin, was talking, because I saw the other videos of him going like, hey, you would have sexual intercourse with me tonight, right? And she's saying, yes. They about to really get a lick on him. That's what's really about to happen. Because I also saw some of the women from overseas saying, yeah, we're just trying to get a lick. They also came out saying, we know these passport.
And this girl wild in the mud on a national syndicated talk show, simply talking about, yeah, you know what I mean, you know what I'm saying? They're trying to get a lick. This girl here wild in the mud. But at the same time, I got to say that it is validity what she's saying, because prior before Austin took down his videos and stuff, right? He was honestly was bragging and doing interviews and stuff, and bragging to these women, saying that could, you know, he could possibly have sex with them. He was actually doing that. But also, not only him, but there are other one passport bros as well who are content creators, whether they're content creators on YouTube or if they content creators on TikTok or whatever case may be, they doing the same as that thing. Going over here, they are displaying these videos to other men and other people as though as the women in these other countries is a better catch, that they're easier than try to attain a woman in America. It just is what it is. And also they're talking about the sex tourism as well too, which that is true about the sex tourism. And my last show that I did a review talking about Austin, that was my number one concern about that whole entire show, was that through my own research and stuff, right? Majority of the one passport bros, including Austin, they wasn't over there to try to look for a wife. They was over there only solely to try to smash these women. So, like I say, part of this thing is it's validity in it as well too. But at the same time, they like say Isaac, he invite these modern day women on this panel, and the reason why I keep calling them modern day women is because you let them talk long enough, what they're gonna end up doing is that they're gonna end up putting their own spin into this, where they start putting their own feelings and emotions into, you know, the actual topic of what's being discussed. So you'll see. Let's continue.
Bros, they not new.
So essentially, they're chumps themselves.
Yes.
They're simply John on the streets of America.
They might.
So then also that's another thing too. And I seen other content creators who did a review on this. Who actually they actually part of not only the manosphere, but they also part of, you know, the passport bro movements. I seen them, they had got upset at Isaac for saying that by leading on to that, or they call it an ad hominem and stuff, right? Where he led on to saying that, you know, the passport bros are chumps and stuff like that. I don't believe that the you know, overall the passport bros are chumps, as he say, chumps or punks or whatever stuff like that. I don't believe that. But however, I did say that the one passport bros are beta men due to their experiences here in America. I did say that. So it is what it is. Chris T, salute.
There might be some that might be actually looking for love that can't find it maybe in America, but you didn't let some rotten apples into y'all group, and y'all need to call the ones out that's not doing it correctly, because baby, we not just in America. You can claim wherever you want to be anytime. I don't care. Get a passport. Go find your love. But at the same time, don't put down us just because you feel like you've had some rejection. Deal with rejection. Heal. Go do your thing. We don't care.
And of course, we're not talking about all individuals.
So I'm kind of curious, why did the they're talking preferably about black women, right? But do y'all notice that the editor and stuff for the show starts showing white women on here? And these not even white Brazilian women. These are actually white women in America or in other one countries and stuff, right? That they're showing. Maybe they're probably of a Europe descended, but they start showing these white women, but they're not even talking about white women. That's weird. But at the same time, like I said in my last show, talking about this and stuff, right? What she's saying, it is validity in that, because I did also stated that there bros who are part of this passport bro movement, where their whole purpose is because they had a negative experience in America about the woman that they choose to go after, and these type of women either curve them or they end up using them and abusing them. And so they feel like that since they had that type of experience, that they're gonna want to talk down on the current women or black women in America, saying, you know, they trash and all that stuff there, and go to a whole nother country and display all, you know, they TikToks or whatever stuff, saying that these women are more better, they're easier, you know, so I can run game on them, I can smash them, I'll do whatever. That's the reason why I was saying that I didn't agree with that. Now, if they was doing it for the right reasons, then yeah, do it. By all means, just like our old girl said, by all means, you know what I'm saying, do you. If you're doing it for the right reasons, you just going over there to expand your horizons or trying to find a suitable wife. It is nothing wrong with that. But let's continue.
Individuals who may travel out of the country. But Priscilla, for those who may be taking advantage of women out there and then trying to humiliate black women in America, your thoughts about that?
I think it's really, really sad. Like, I look at them and I almost want to pity them, but then I don't, because there's a level of ignorance that's deplorable. Go ahead and use that word today. I think that they are taking advantage, at least from what they project themselves to be as a group. They're taking advantage of gender gaps and economic opportunities that are not there in these other countries that are present for us in America, in the States, in Canada, in Scandinavia, all over the world, and not even thinking back to the history of why are women and people made to.
Before she get to this full point, right? I have to disagree with her on this particular point. Now, this is the point where I say where the women, they're gonna start using their feelings and emotion instead of using logic and reasoning. Okay, based on the talking point or what they talking about right now. Now, the reason why I disagree with her is because she's looking at America as a one-dimensional country, meaning that every other one country, she thinking that every other country besides America doesn't have equal opportunities for women, based on her response on this. That is not true. All over the world, there is gender gaps, there is equal opportunity for women, there are all these things that are available all over the world in these countries, especially in the countries where these passport bros are going at. She thinking that because they going over to countries like Brazil and um Thailand and Africa and stuff like that. She thinking that they are low poverty or poverty stricken countries, when that is not true. That is not true. If you want to be technical about it, if you want to be really real and be technical about it, out of all the countries in the world, America is actually the country who's the most in debt. America is the country who's actually the country who's the most poverty stricken, because this country is almost on the brink of suffering from an economic collapse, to be technical about it. And these other countries is not really having that experience because of their economic status there, and how the way they not only treat their economics there, but how the way they treat their citizens there as well too, versus America. And so she's gonna try to veer in and try to see into the equal rights movement on women and all the stuff there. So I want y'all to hear that.
Be so independent in this country today. I think there's so many factors that they shove to the side for their preferences and trying to deem it a movement, which is so disappointing to hear. The civil rights movement was a movement.
Facts. Facts.
Anti-apartheid movement was a movement. Come on. So I'm thinking of passport bros like, this is a shame. You could really take advantage of your opportunity to educate people on how to get a passport, to go overseas, travel the world, and to learn, and not just make it be about sex. And the fact that now you're putting this stigma on people.
Yeah, and once again, this is what I'm talking about now. That once again, instead of her using logic and reasoning to convey what she's talking about in her talking points, she's using her emotions about it. Now, once again, I stated this before and I stated again. I have no problem with the passport bros going over there, and they going over there for the right intentions. You know what I'm saying? There's no problem with that. No problem with that whatsoever. But also at the same time, while she's focusing in on the passport bros, right? She had to also take accountability of her own sisters at doing this as well too, because women practice sex tourism as well too. So she can't just cap and just try to focus this only on the men that they're doing this, but she had to want to take accountability, and she had to also take accountability. There are women that are doing this as well too. Same as that thing. Same as that thing. Like I stated on my show before when I was talking about Ulster, right? I made a valid point that whenever you hear women, especially younger women or middle-aged women, and they get with their homegirls and their sisters and stuff, and all of a sudden they decide to plan a trip to the DR, the Dominican Republic, and they just about all of them are single. Guess why they going over there for? They're not going over to the Dominican Republic just to get some mimosas and stuff like that, because they could do that in America. They're going over there for the same exact reason that these passport bros are doing, is for the sex tourism. They're going over there to try to smash a international dude. Same as that process when these women go over to Jamaica, preferably when they go to Montego Bay. Montego Bay is very, very, very strong in sex tourism for both the men and the women. Barbados is the same way as well too. Women do the same as that thing, sex tourism. They go to Barbados as well too. If they're not going to Jamaica or the DR, the Dominican Republic, they go to Barbados. So she can't just point it on just these particular men doing that. She also have to be realistic and understand that women do it as well too. Hell, she sound a little bit more educated than old girl. You know what I'm saying? So more likely she probably do have a degree, because she say that she's a communication specialist. So she may have a degree in journalism. So I'm pretty sure that her and her soror sister, right? Because she look like she part of a sorority, maybe either AKAs or Delta. So I'm pretty sure that her sorors probably took a trip to any one of them countries that I have mentioned, and they had them a little sex tourism thing going on there. But just saying. But continue. We're almost done too, y'all.
And black people in America, that is literally mushing us down. I hate that I said mushing, couldn't find a better word right then.
Right.
But like bringing us down. Right. They all know. They know. But what does that do for our perspective?
Them talk some of them, not all of them, talk so badly about black women in America, saying you guys are too bossy, you're too much, you're not feminine enough for them.
I think that sounds a lot to me like insecurities and the inability to seek what you want.
No. No. And once again, this is the reason why I said that once again they're going to start using their feelings and emotion instead of logical reasoning. Now the point about these men saying that the women, preferably black women, or they're not feminine enough, they are bossy, and all these different other type of things that they're stating. To be honest with you, that is actually true. A lot of your sisters are like that for real, where they be displaying masculine energy instead of having feminine energy. So that again, a lot of your sisters are like that for real. Not all of them, but a lot of them are like that, where they be displaying masculine energy instead of feminine energy. Where instead of them trust men, they would rather want to pick the as we say, the Pookies and the Ray Rays and stuff, and let this dude use and abuse them. Then after when that dude use and abuse them, then that's when they finally want to go after an actual good man. But when that man demands that he want that woman to respect her and allow him to lead her, right? Guess what? Guess what? It's not going to happen. She's not going to allow it due to what this lady said, due to them type of women insecurities. So like I say, it's a double-edged sword on this. You know what I'm saying? There can't be just one direction on this. It's a double-edged sword. It's both parties need to be held accountable for the decisions that they done made. For us choosing the people to be with. Both parties, both men and women.
with what you have, where you are. That's what I really think about that. It almost disgusts me and is borderline gaslighting to sit here and treat American women, American black women, and try to shut us down because we may be educated or have the ability to obtain certain finances and social status that we're not in other countries.
And you would
And that's another one point that these modern day women make as well too. They try to use their social economical status as well too to convey this point, saying that the men are intimidated about them having an education, about having them a degree, or they have like high earning jobs, different things like that. But to be honest with you, and I say this before too, and I'm saying it again, that men do not care about that. Men do not care about your educational. Men don't care about your social economical status. Well, I put it to you this way: real men do not care about that. Them beta men may care about that, but real men do not care about that at all. They don't care about you having degrees. They don't care about you making money or making high earn money. Hell, the men don't even care if you make more money than them. Men really don't care. Long as that man could still be in his divine position, which is to provide and protect. That's all they do care about. But here's the thing about it. Once again, sometimes what happens is that these same type of women, right? These same type of modern women, like I said before, they don't allow that man to lead. They don't allow that man to be a man, which is for him to protect and provide. Instead of letting him take the lead, they're so used to doing it on their own. So when they get with a man who's a man who got everything together, instead of allowing him to lead, they become selfish and they end up trying to emasculate that man. They'll throw up their degrees, like this is what this lady doing right now. They'll throw up their degrees, they'll throw up their education, they'll throw up their social economical status as a flex. That's what men don't agree with. Where you try to do that to them, where you try to emasculate them like that. So all this other stuff, it's irrelevant. It really is. It really is.
It's a shame.
what you put out there too.
It's a shame.
All right.
Like, don't put that on us. Yeah, don't put that on us.
Thank
Hey
you,
man,
ladies, for
salute.
joining.
All right, and so this pretty much the end of this segment. All right, so just like I said, before, and I say again, um the overall point of this that I want to convey to people is that at the end of the day, there's accountability on everybody part. Everybody part. It's accountability part on the men. It's accountability part on the women. The only way that this situation is going to finally stop is like I said on my last show, is first of all, it takes for us as men to get into our divine place of being men, as being leaders, as being protectors and providers. It takes for us as men and stuff, right, to get into the place where um it it takes us as men to get into the place where we're not no longer doing childish things anymore. We're no longer or abusing these women. And furthermore, it takes for us as men to also be mentor to the younger men as well, to the younger generation, and showing them that we have a way where all of us could get along with our women, and we could exist together. We could coexist together without this bickering, without the bickering, the fighting, without the gender wars and different things like that. But it takes for us to take accountability for ourselves and get ourselves in order. I am a firm believer about that a man, it is a priority for a man to have his house in order. Once again, it is a priority for a man to have his house in order. What do I mean by that? His house consists of, first of all, him personally, which is his mind, body, and spirit, and finances. as well too. It is vital for him to have his house in order before he even try to find a suitable wife. Then likewise with the women as well too. Same process with the women as well too. They have to get their self in order as well too. It's vital for the older women to get into the point how the way it used to be back in the day, where the older women was wise and they was mentoring the younger women, teaching the younger women how to be women, to be feminine, teaching them how to trust the man and allow that man to be leaders and allow them to lead, teach them the importance about submission, and let them know that this word submission is not a scary word, but you are you can submit to the right man. Okay. Meaning that that man who is in his divine order, or who the way he's supposed to be, that is the type of man that you're supposed to submit to. Not the Pookies and Ray Rays, not the dudes who are childish and doing this weird stuff, but an actual man. So, like I say, my message on this podcast tonight is simple. It's simple. In order for all of us to heal and get over this thing once and for all, we got to do our due diligence. We got to take accountability. That's where it boils down to. Once we take accountability, then I guarantee, like I say, I guarantee that all this stuff, this gender war and all the stuff, there are these, crazy groups that report on Manosphere, Red Pill, Pink Pill, Goofy Pills, all the stuff that's happening. I guarantee that it will no longer exist once we finally decide to get in order.